everyone. Oh, good. We are here tonight. So, welcome, everyone. Tonight is another adventure with Grandmother Voice. Tonight we have Lisa joining us. Welcome, Lisa. It
Thank
is a
you.
pleasure to have you with us. Lisa has been traveling with us and with Gail and I, and we have um, we have shared a lot of adventures together. And so tonight we're sharing another adventure. But before we begin all else, we always open with our gratitude. Some people call it land acknowledgement, but to us it is remembering where we come from. Each of us comes from the land, and so in that sense, we always give thanks because everything of the land has created each and every one of us. We are of the land. Every nutrient that's in your body comes from the land, the water, the earth, the soils and nutrient, everything comes from the land. And so this is why we take that time to honor our mother. And that's the beauty of it. This is a mother that loves us unconditionally. This is a mother that has never forsaken us. And right now she's resting and she's getting ready for the birthing of a new life. And so as all women and everyone, I guess sometimes we do need rest so that we can support other people. And so we know at this time that she is resting so she can give more life to us. And so at this time, we give greetings and gratitude to all the people that are here tonight. And we send out blessings to each and every one of you, to your communities and to your families. And so we say thank you. We look and we see how our mother the earth, as I have shared, that she is resting, but she is getting ready to give life again in the spring. And so we're going to let her, we're going to acknowledge her and let her rest at this time and know that we're sending out our love, and all creation is sending out their love because she plays a very important role in each of our lives in all creation. And so we give thanks to her because we have an amazing creation story. And I know everyone else has their creation story. And at this time, we think about that creation story, how everything was created from her love. Because she had gone through trauma, she had gone through a lot of life experience. And so she wanted to support us whenever we were going through those challenges. And so she made all these things possible. She made that out of love. All the things that you see, hear, smell, and taste, it comes from that love, unconditional love. And so when we look at all the things that she has provided for us, we acknowledge and give thanks to her. For we have been given so much love. They are those creation are still fulfilling their unconditional love by providing for us. We have the air to breathe. We have that was given to us by the trees and the plant life. And so we give thanks to them for supporting us with that very important gift of taking breath. And so now we look and we see how the water is here. The water that is a gift too, that keeps us nourished and keeps all creation nourished. And so we give thanks for that beautiful water, Neganos. And so at this time we like to acknowledge these things that have come in from those gifts. We have been given food, we have been given medicine, we have been given life supporters. We call them the animals. They are there to look after us, and so we give thanks for them too. And then we look and we see all the different as they say, families, the different families of trees and plants and animals, how they're all here. They have been created to follow their instruction was to take care of us. And so let it be in our minds to be forever grateful. Then we look and we see how the birds play a very important role in our daily life. They follow a routine, and so they guide us with a lot of awareness and understanding. So nature has been our first teacher. Nature has showed us how to be how to be, as they would say, prepared for what is coming. So how many of you are prepared for this snow that's coming? It's a gift. It's not a what do you call a disaster. It's it's a gift. it's a gift that was committed for you, because you see there's a lot of virus around, and that snow comes to put down all those virus, and um, takes away all those virus and make them weak. That's why it has to be very cold. And so I give thanks for that cold that's coming, because we have many sickness, and that is another gift that we forgot. We are to be outside, and that very essence of that first cold breeze breath on our face, you see, it affects here, our third eye, and it interacts with our immune system. And so when we get more of that cold fresh air, it's like building and restoring our immune system. And so because we haven't been in that relationship, we are angry at snow, we are angry at the coldness, we are angry. And so we have created a place where it's going to be a lot of sickness. So the snow was given. If you see the animals, when they know the snow is coming, they take shelter, but they come out after the snow, and you'll see them playing. And so how many of the children will be out playing? I know there is a lot of exhilaration, a lot of excitement when that snow falls on your face. And today we talked about it, that snowstorm that's coming. It's like a magic. It is just like a big blanket that is covering the earth, because it has to. Because look at the viruses that is in the land, the air, and the water. It has to support us so that we can be here tomorrow, and then and in the future. And so this is the creator's way of taking care of us. So please understand that this cold, this storm, this coming is a gift. And that's how we are taught, that everything that comes is a gift, the gift to make us more resilient. And so we give thanks for that. We give thanks for these times, because we have come to a place where we have come so soft. And this was nature's way of telling us to get ready, to be prepared. All those moons that in the past, that was to tell us to get ready for this time. And so we give thanks. So now we look and we see all these magnificent things that have been put in place to look after our well being. We even have mentors out there. And I look at the sun and the moon and the stars are as mentors. I look at them and see them, because they have been here looking after us. And they never neglect their duty. They're always there to they shine their face upon us. They give us the heat. And so those are metaphors of unconditional love. Now we look and we see all these magnificent things, the stars, the thunder beings, how all of them contribute to our wellness, for they clean the land, the air, and the water so that we can be well, because it is man that has created, as they say, a lot of health problems by polluting the land, the air, and the water. So nature, Mother Nature, and all her love has created all these things to support us. And so we give thanks. Now we look and we see that, you know, the four beings, we have them. The four beings that have brought us here to this earth plane, and they've walked with us, because, sometimes we have gotten ourselves in trouble, but they all seem to get us out. And so we give thanks for them watching over us. And then they'll come and they'll take us home, and they'll be with us, so we're never alone at any time. So if there is anything that I have forgotten, I please ask you to put it in your mind right now, to think of those that, if I have forgotten anything. And at this time, I will talk about the medicine, and that is the teas that we're supposed to be drinking. So tonight, I am having a cup of real hot tea, chai tea, a black tea, because it is to build up our immune system. This is another gift of Grandmother Moon and Mother Earth. And this is that deep relationship of unconditional love. And so in the wintertime, we are to be drinking more of those teas to help us to overcome a lot of what they call heavy in our minds. And so these teas lift us to a better place. So I have included the medicines. And so I hope tonight that you have had a good supper, because that is the gift to restore us. And so I think I have included all those that the trees and the animals and the birds and all those things just to remind us how fortunate and how loved we are. And so I say, to the one that has created all, we are very blessed. We are very lucky. And so may we continue to be acknowledging all these magnificent gifts that the Creator and Mother Earth and Grandmother Moon have been providing for us, and our eldest brother, the Sun, because of that unconditional love. And so, at this time, I also finish off in my prayers. Is I think of all those that are in need of a prayer today, and so every time I do my opening address and thanking, I always think of those that are in need of a prayer. So to those that are out there that are in need of a prayer, support, guidance, and healing, and especially to those that are grieving, we send off much love and much gratitude that love may surround you at this time, just like a big blanket of snow that is going to come. And so I say thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to Lisa, and maybe she introduce herself and share her wisdom, and then we'll have Gail because she's the younger one, so we'll put her in between the two grannies.
Hi, my name is Lisa Green. I own Gasa Stotsali Healing Center on Six Nations Reserve. It's a pleasure to be working with and traveling and learning from Renee and Gail. I've traveled quite a bit. I think maybe the last 13, 14 years with Gail. So it's been quite the privilege. I don't like I wasn't I'm not sure what my part like what you want me to talk about tonight.
Just flow with what your heart has to say.
Okay. Um so here we are at, celebrating solstice. And the last few, I guess, probably about the last 3 days. I don't know if anybody else has been feeling the energy, but I've been really reflecting on my life and the things. I guess kind of looking. We all have a shadow side, and coming to terms with that and accepting the dark, and thinking about preparing for the you know the renewal, and um, yeah. Um, I think later on tonight, I'm going to take some time, especially with this, the longest night here,
Mm-hmm.
and reflect some more and do some more writing. Even though we're healers and stuff like that, we still go through our personal experiences and stuff. And right now, I'm going through some stuff with my son, and I miss him quite a bit and stuff. So I'm going to be doing some writing around that, and letting that go and hopefully shift that energy and hopefully be able to speak with my son over these Christmas holidays.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Lisa.
Hmm.
Gail.
Yes. It was a test, Lisa, to see how much you've been listening over time. And of course, we acknowledge that you are very wise and you have a lot to share. And so we kind of put you on kind of like the line there for a quick second or two. So we'll ask you to share a little bit more about our trip and how we created our event. But first, we'll talk more about the solstice. And so I just want you to imagine first, hello everyone. It's really nice to be here this beautiful evening. I'm sorry my camera's not on, but I'm sitting in a Walmart parking lot because it's really close to Christmas and my children needed to come shopping, and due to many events, this is the best time for us to do that. So here I am. So I don't want to turn my camera on, and but this is kind of like the reality of things. You never know where you're going to find the grannies. You never know where you're going to find your family, and all of these things. So, and it also proves that no matter where we are, we can also share our wisdom and our thoughts. So I want you to first think of what it must have been like, I would say thousands of years ago, when, you come into this dark time. And if you really pay attention, there's this energy that you can feel, especially on this special night, because um, over time, people survived by knowing how to count time. And so they would know that this is the shortest time of the year. And of course, June 21st is the longest time of the year. And so there was celebrations that would happen. And one of the celebrations might be a fire, because during this time of the darkness, sometimes maybe a nice celebration would be to bring a little bit of light, especially onto this day, so that we remember that June is coming, and we're going to be in that time again with high energy. Right now, it's all about how our body responds to our environment. And our environment is always reacting to the moon cycles. It's always reacting to the light and the dark. And right now, our minds are saying, it's time to rest that mind. You're busy. Like, look at the middle of summer and how active we are and how much energy that we're putting out. Well, we need to rest our bodies, and now is that time. So as we rest our bodies, as we rest our mind, we can go deeper within ourselves. And as we go deeper within ourselves, it's amazing what can happen. Um, this is also a time of challenges, and again, finding that we really need that dark to appreciate that light. And so it's a time of reflection and a time of renewal. It's a time of celebration, because I always think of, well, June 21st, gosh, that means that now the days are getting shorter. So now
Mhm.
it's December 21st. I'm thinking, gosh, now the days are going to start getting longer. So there's always a thought process that we have when we reach certain times of the year. So as our ancestors and our relatives from hundreds and thousands and maybe millions of years looked up into the sky at this time of the night, the sky is something that we forget all about. Right now we're in really closed quarters. We are faced with the inability to see the beautiful stars that shine at night. The best memory I have, or one of the really nice memories I have, is being in New Zealand and looking up at that night sky at some of those beautiful, powerful mirages, and just seeing, you couldn't even hardly see the darkness through the stars. And I was thinking to myself, wow, what do those stars tell us? What is the message that these stars share with us? And so as I sat in fasting, sometimes you look up into that night sky and you can see that the sky is alive. So much happens in the sky, and we're cut off from that most of the time, because we don't appreciate what beauty the night beholds. And so the other part about this is, the dark time also reflects the light. So the stars shine, and many things can be told in the waters at this time of the year, because of being able to read that water and being able to collect those messages in the sky. So it's a really powerful time, and it's powerful more so because we have to remember who we are. We have to remember that we came here with many gifts, and we came here with so much light. And in the darkness, there is always the light. And that's what those stars represent. It represents, even though, the earth is needing that rest, know that the light shines above and the light shines within. And so I always think of that, and it gives me great peace, and I'm sure it gives many great peace, just to be able to look up at the stars, and and remember the stories of the stars, of our ancestors, of how we are all connected. It gives us time to reflect all of that. And there's the miss I remember years ago, when I was, just a small child. um, I remembered that there was times that maybe I was scared of, being left in the dark, but I just remember that there was times when there was a communication of some sort that happened, and maybe I didn't always understand it, but now that I'm older, I go, wow, um, my ancestors, they were close by at that time. So, it's interesting to, be in an in a much older body and to reflect on some of those thoughts we had as children, because now we can say, I understand what that was, and I'm really glad that I went through those experiences. So the solstice is about that that darkest day of the year, but the darkest day is a time that we face our fears. It's like that darkest time in our life. We have that darkest time that happens in our life, and it gets to the point where now the light is going to come back. And many of us are at that point where we feel that, there's so much in this world that we can't overcome, but in reality, this day signifies the time to say, you know what? It is time to go to the light, and it's time to recognize the light in all of its power and all of its form, so that we can create that beautiful life that we all deserve. So today is the time to shrug off all of that stuff that we don't need to carry. It's time to think about our our families. It's time to think about, our situations that we're in. And this time at certain points of your life also represents sadness, and it represents heartache, and it represents grief, and it represents all of those things because they are our greatest teachers. Once we learn how to overcome and to work with these emotions, I remember, there was a time when, this time of year, it felt like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to, create or be here this season. But again, it was, challenging with the lots of children and, lots of bills and, lots of things happening in life. And it was really challenging. But then working through this season, like getting past, this time of the year, wow, things shifted and things changed and things became beautiful. I always remember my mother. This time of the year was challenging for her because of death and grief, because this is the time when many decide, that they want that eternal rest. And a lot of our loved ones use this time of the year to make that transition to the spirit world. And when they make that transition, what a beautiful journey for them. It is, a time of celebration. It is time of joy for them. And us here on earth, we have to understand that we have to embrace that, and we have to understand how to feel that within ourselves as well, and not carry on and leave that feeling of grief within us. So yeah, so this is a time to shake away and to leave a lot of those things that we no longer need. So it's interesting that it's also the time of year to make those pledges. I am going to do this in the new year, and I am going to do that in the new year, to make those resolutions for um, for creating the next leg of your life. And so again, that ties in to our teachings and our stories about being able to understand the darkness and all the beauty that it brings. The other thing about this time of year is it's like being in a sweat lodge. Being in that sweat lodge, there's that silence, there's that peace, there's that connection that we don't get when we don't concentrate. And so in the darkness, we can always go back to that beautiful sweat lodge, and we can understand, how that sweat lodge works, and how many of our ceremonies are really important to our spiritual development, to our spiritual walk, to our spiritual beliefs, because our our third eye opens and we have that deeper connection to our ancestors and to our spirit guides. And wow, what a beautiful story life is. And you know, the older I get, the more I enjoy life, the more, even though I face daily challenges, I can smile and I can work through them because they've happened so many times that, that I've learned how to do it. And so I'll leave it there so that we can continue, to talk a little bit deeper about this. So I'll pass it back to you, Renee, for your comments and your thoughts.
Thank you, Gail and Lisa. Um, Everyone has forgotten the meaning of darkness. It was a gift. It is a gift. And you have morning, noon, evening, nighttime. It's a gift. And that dark time reminds us of birthing. That time when we were never afraid, we were in that darkness in our mother's womb, and the water was surrounding us in the water. And we it was our first home with darkness. And in darkness comes life. And that's why the creator created this darkness. This is a very powerful time. It's a time of healing our spirit. So when the nighttime comes, it's a time that our body intuitively knows that it's time to rest. We're supposed to go to bed. As soon as it gets darker, we're supposed to go to bed. Because in that time, our body is now mending and repairing and restoring any, as they say, any problems that has occurred in our bodies. It is working very hard to bring wellness to every cell, to every bone, to every tissue in our body. And that's why it's so important is that nighttime. And that's why we drank teas, was to celebrate that time, that we were going to go on a journey again, just like that birthing. And our dreams become that birthing cycle. And so every night when I look forward, it's just like some people, they're ready to watch a movie. Well, I'm ready to go and travel, because in the nighttime we are able to travel. We are able to travel into the future, and we are able to travel in the past. And that's a gift. That's another powerful gift. And so at this time when the longest night, it is a time of repairing and restoring our body. And I really love that, because the older you get, the you realize you don't take your body for granted. And it's so sad that when we're young, we take our bodies for granted. And this gift this gift is so amazing, because I know when I'm sleeping, I know all the intuitiveness, the unconditional love that I have surrounded myself during the day, that they're busy working and repairing and restoring my heart, my liver, my kidneys, every part of my body, my bones. I know I'm shrinking, because I think I give that out a lot when I give my hugs. So it doesn't, I, I always say, well, that's why I have a good night's sleep, because when I pass that energy on, that love, that hug, then I know that nighttime I'm going to have a real good sleep. I'm going to sleep really well, because what I did was follow my original instruction. And most of all, is that spiritual part of me. We have that spiritual part, and this is what is awakening time for us. You notice this past year, there's been a lot of big upheavals in your life, a lot of big changes in your life. And what are you doing? Are you reaching out for spirituality, or are you reaching for an aspirin or a Tylenol or other things that may have that you are looking for to block that from your mind? And so the teas, going back to the teas, we have many teas, as Gail will talk about. They're teas that help us to relax our mind so that our bodies can rest. And so we need to tell this mind. It's like the impatient one. We have twins in us, and I always think of that twin in us. We have patient and impatient. And that's so true in us. And this is why the creator created darkness. So if you close your eyes, it's like a time to settle and calm your mind. to let your mind, and some people call it meditating, but I always like to call it I'm going visiting, traveling. And when I close my eyes, I can see, I use my own television set. I can see a lot of things that can help me through all my challenging times. I can see the ocean where I visit, or I can see the mountains where I have visit. I can see the north in the coldest night. I can visit all those places, and then I fall right to sleep because it is a place that we were given in our dream world, and that's why the dreams play a very important part. And I know a lot of you are dreaming a lot because this is why you are, there's things in you you want to know why. You're on this flow, and you're trying to understand what is happening to your body, what is happening to you, why am I feeling this? Why is everything happening to me? And that's when you're supposed to get your candle and recall the breath of life and how you're to breathe. You may have our medicines. And I know a lot of people were afraid of spirit. Well, I shouldn't say spirituality. I would say religion. Religion was so strict. It wasn't. It didn't feel like it was given with love, as they say, because a lot of would say, "Get on your knees," and you know, to me personally, I have come to know the Creator that sits beside me, and He's a real good friend. And he just has that smirk on his face. I really believe, because when I make mistakes, he goes, "Ah, you made that choice." So he's not putting me down. He's letting me make my own choices. And when he knows I'm doing right, I know he smiles with me. A lot of times people have said, "You're sitting all alone." And I always say, "No, no, I'm not." I said, "I have all the ancestors. I have the Creator sitting beside me, and they're guiding me. And I never look at being alone." And it's so powerful. It is. And so this time, you know, when the first visitors came, they couldn't understand why we were celebrating all the time, celebrating life. I think that's where they referred to us party animals, because we were always acknowledging, celebrating life, celebrating the darkness, celebrating everything that was happening into our life, celebrating how the outcome of it. We know we were going to get through it. Just like a cloud covers, when a big storm covers, the sun is always shining. That's just like the Creator. He is always there. Even in our dark times, He's still sending that love. He's still providing all that thing. And so I think of this as the most sacred time, the most powerful time, because we are coming to an understanding. Because when you close your eyes, you still see um, that darkness is also a part of your immune system. You need to have that in order to, because it's almost like the trigger, no, the button to activate the healing that is needed in your body. So we would do that. And so one of the things that at this time, it also makes me very, as you say, wow, it's just like we've been riding this big wave for a while. And at this time, a lot of people are just like fish on a land. They're they don't understand. And it's really special tonight because we're in that process 3 days before the moon change. And so we're really going to be affected, really going to make change. How many of you said, "I've had enough? I've had enough"? And that's when you turn, as they say, you give that that your controlling ability, you give it over. And they call it surrendering, but I just said, "Take this away from me." And I those words are very powerful. Take this from me. And I remember when I was at my lowest point in my life, I fell to the ground and I looked up into the stars and the sky world. And I said, "Take this from me. Take all this things that I'm feeling that doesn't sit well in my body. I know there's a solution, and I ask for understanding. I ask for clarity, and it just seems like this, the twinkling of that star just came down and touched my being, and then it was, and that's what people. The spirituality is very loving. It's not controlling. It's very loving, and I think I shouldn't say I think I know. I know that that spiritual power, that fire. You see, that this is why we have a candle. It is to remind us of spirituality. That fire within us. It's been wanting to come out and to be full again, because that nighttime is the purpose of bringing light into your spirit, bringing that light into you. And what do we think of the Creator? We think of bringing in that light into us. And so this is spirituality, bringing that essence of unconditional love into us. And our people understood that a long time ago, because our people were very spiritual. Everything had a spirit. And as a result, they were honoring every emotion that we were feeling. They honored our sad times, because it was the opposite of love. And so we have come through a long period of not knowing, because they say in our way that we had fallen asleep. And that's another good way. We had fallen asleep, because that's what the Creator did. Was we But all, don't think that you lost anything. You haven't lost anything. This is why more and more people are coming out of the darkness, because only in darkness can you have birth. Just think of the caterpillar, the butterfly, how he has to go in that cocoon and then come out and have wings. We have to go through our dark times, and it's birthing, and that's just like us. We were in that womb where it was dark. It didn't have constant light all the time. It had the vibration of creation around us. And so that's what I like to remind you. So this is a good time to cry. This is a good time to make things right with yourself. And that's what they would say, apologizing to your body, because you got to be kind to your body. And that's what the darkness is. Please forgive me. I do not understand. And your body, when you say those, it's just like ding. They said the words I need to hear, and I will help them to remember. And so in that darkness comes dreams. Those dreams manifest solutions to help us to get through. And this is when the most powerful energy between the two worlds, between the birthing of a new being. And so it evolves. And so what you comes out is now you, each time. And I was talking with some ladies, and they said, you notice, we were talking about, they said, you notice it is the women that are gaining their strength. The women are rising up. And, and it's true, because they said they did ceremonies when the eclipse. We did ceremony with the sun, the moon, and the stars, because they were our ancestors. And this was a way. We're in celebration tonight, and they are ever so close to us. They're ever so close. And so I like to say thank you to all of them for giving us this opportunity and this ability to reach you and to share this knowledge with you, that whatever you're going through, it is the birthing. And how many of you have had a child, how your body is goes through all that pain, and it's that wave, the birthing, the labor, and finally when it comes to where the water breaks, it rushes through. Again, that's your tears, the metaphor of your tears to flow, so that whatever is inside you is to come out. And that is how we give birth to ourselves. So we are the creator of our own lives, the creator of our lives. And that's why we are so grateful that we have this opportunity to be in your homes, to share a lot of a lot of life experience, but most of all, the teachings of the natural world. And so I'm going to turn it back to either one to step in. Um, so I pass the feather.
I just want to talk about I just love when we talk about grandmother moon, because on my healing journey, I always turned to grandmother moon, and it was like when we would have moon ceremonies and stuff, and sitting there, and whether there was other people around or not, it just felt like you were sitting there talking to your grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we did: put our tobacco in a fire, and asked for direction, and our gratefulness for having that direction. And that was very healing to me. It's a very spiritual thing to have that relationship with grandmother moon, and this being the longest night would be the perfect time to go out and acknowledge and have that conversation and stuff with her. But another thing, what Renee had taught me before, is about the chaos and stuff about 3 days before each moon phase. And like, not to be making decisions like with great value, in that time, like to wait until the stages like after that peak. And it gives me like it's just um makes me feel good that every this happens like every week. There's 4 stages of the moon. So, you don't have to stay in that darkness. You reach the peak, and then it's like, downhill, like, not downhill, but I mean, things get better, like, and I think it's just your mindset and stuff. And like you choose like where you want to be, if you're going to sit in that darkness, or if you're going to go with the flow with the universe and switch it up. Um, those 3 days after that moon phase, where everything becomes better, and it makes that shift and everything, and then you start over, you go into it again. So like we get 4 chances like every month.
Wow. That's absolutely awesome to think that way. Yeah.
Hmm.
Just think of how powerful we are, that when we're able to use those, take advantage of all of that, and I guess knowledge or inspiration that we hear, and then we know how to incorporate it into our lives. Um,
Hmm.
you know, uh, w- we talked, or Renee talked a little bit about dreams, and we really have to look at this time of the year as the dreaming time. And
Mm-hmm.
again, as indigenous people, and every single one of us in every culture are indigenous to somewhere, we really valued the power of dreaming, because dreams helped us to make decisions, helped us to solve problems, helped us to map out certain things that we needed help with. It took us out of the darkness, and so we're actually having what we might call a dream workshop on January 7th here at Six Nations. We have a facility called oh gosh, go- the gathering place, the gathering place on the Grand. And for those of you that know the community, it's our old bingo hall, because they've built a new bingo hall right beside. And it's at this time, it's the perfect time to talk about these dreams and these visions, and how to incorporate them into your life. And this didn't happen lightly. We were traveling to South Dakota to go to a star to acknowledge, Lauren Zephier, and he was the founder of the Star Knowledge gatherings that were held 11, 11, 11, 12, 12, 12, and then 13, 13, 13. And he traveled extensively to bring together people to share the knowledge of the stars and our ancestors. And um, as we were traveling, we talked about, you know, what is it that we feel will help the most. When we're talking about our people, like, what do people need to know? and we thought of dreams. And so here we are, we're there, and we're really into it. Like, we're right into it. Lisa's writing, and you know, Renee's sitting up there, and we're all just like really into it. Then I get pulled over. We were so into it, I didn't even know that there was a police officer following me, and I get pulled over, and all we could do was laugh. I mean, what else can you do? And so, so this gathering, it was very inspirational in that we took we're always thinking about what is it our purpose, what is our job, how do we move forward, and we figured we thought very carefully, and dreaming is so important. So, and it's also the right time of year. So for those of you who can attend, um, there's information on Ancestral Voices Healing Center Facebook page. There's Eventbrite. There is information on Grandmother's Voice and Lisa's. I cannot ever say your name of your shop. Lisa's
So
Facebook.
Leo.
Yeah, and so now spell that, everyone. And so so there's information out there in order to get information on it, but it's going to be a day workshop, or we have there's three of us speaking, and as we speak, we're also going to do some uh, I guess some circles, so that people have the ability to talk about their dreams, and we'll be able to help figure out what these dreams could mean, and also to give dreaming techniques and to relate it to star knowledge. So those of you who feel inclined, yeah, check out one of those sources. You can always call Ancestral Voices too, and the phone number at Ancestral Voices is 519 Um, and Lisa, your number is?
519-750-4702.
Yeah, and so we'll let Grandma Renee sit back, and we'll organize it, because she's the wisest of us all. She's our fearless leader. So we like to do the work, and and I mean, there's just so much about this event that is, even thinking about it, and as we're organizing it, it just like, wow, this is really something to get involved with. So yeah, so everybody's welcome to attend that. And when we talk about dreams, um, you know, people like, a lot of times when I'm speaking, I like to share about some of the visions I've had, some of the dreams I've had, and the most powerful time to have your dreams is this time of year, but also when your body is in the right state. So um, I've heard people talk about, the mind changers, and especially marijuana, and how they lost their dreams. As long as they were using marijuana, their dreams weren't as powerful as when they decided that, that they didn't want that as part of their life anymore. And even personally, there was a time when I took out all the five whites in my diet, and my oxygen levels were really high, and wow, my dreams, they got so powerful. It was it was like, okay, I just need a little break now, because they were just so powerful. So we all have that the ability to be able to pay attention and to know more about our dreams. And again, dreams help us to face our fears.
Yes.
Excuse me. Yeah. So saying all that, we hope that you can attend, and we look forward to being able to share what we know and share our knowledge with you. Oh, excuse me. I just had um.
Hey, I know I
Right.
wasn't supposed to jump in here, but I'm traveling too, and I'm in the car, and I've been updating the Facebook page, and for those of you who know me or don't know me, I'm Jody. I'm in the background, and these women are amazing. So I'm trying to get caught up, and we're traveling to our families right now for our holidays. And I'm just remembering all of the work that I had done on my on my healing journey with dreams, and I'm really hoping that I can be there for this event. But just to kind of say how much my dreams reflected or connected to my reality was what I really like, the reality of my life in the moment, and that I was, Gail, what you were just saying, just the health and wellness of yourself, and how it can really connect to your cells and your body. Like, that's what I really found. So I'm really excited to share this, this time, and all of the information that you guys are going to be sharing there that day. Because as far as I remember, Lisa, when we were talking the other day, there'll be other healers there to offer, some time. So anyway, for those of you, I'll be just getting ready to post this right now, some more information, so you can just jump on there, register. All of that will be on our Facebook page. And then Gail, I just wanted to also mention the solstice, because I've had not the solstice story, the Mayan ceremony that you have coming up, because I've had about 10 people message Grandmother's Voice this week about that. So I believe that that's this Saturday. Maybe you can just mention a little bit about that before you jump off as well, because that's my experiences there have been amazing.
Well, I'm surely very happy to share information about our upcoming Mayan fire. The solstice, as we mentioned, and is a very powerful time of the year. So we always do at least 4 ceremonies at the Land of the Dancing Deer. So the Land of the Dancing Deer is actually behind Oliver M. Smith School here at Six Nations. And it is a very, all I can call it is a very sacred and a very spiritual place. And the name of the land came from the vision that the I guess the leader, or it's hard to call him. Yeah, I don't know exactly what to call him. The Mayan elder, Tata Victor, he came to the land, and there has to be certain things that will allow him to do ceremony there. And so we were walking through the bush, and as we walked through the bush, there was a deer that came, and it danced right beside us, stood on its hind leg and danced, and then it went down on and disappeared into the woods. And I can still see his face. He was saying, I know what eagles mean to you, he says, but for us, that dancing deer was the most powerful thing that I could have seen, And so we have been holding ceremonies there for, well, since 2010. And we've made sure, he's made sure that at least 4 times a year we've held those ceremonies. Even during times of COVID, I think we only missed one ceremony. So the ceremony starts at 10 o'clock. And what you can do to prepare is to get some white candles. So really, probably 2 white candles. And the purpose of the candles is to put your prayers. So it's kind of like tobacco in a way, like you put your prayers into those candles. You can do that, from now until the day of the ceremony, or you can even inscribe with something on the candle. You can, write what it is you want to let go of, or you can write what it is you want to bring into your life. And at that fire, you have the opportunity to offer those candles. So it's kind of like the prayer. And there are no facilities there, so there's no bathrooms. But you're always welcome to come to Ancestral Voices to for that purpose, and to see the store and to visit the shop. And also, when you come to visit, dress warm and bring a chair. And kids are kids are more than welcome. So please, we have to really focus on our youth and our children. And kids love it back there. There's, like I said, there's something magical that pulls people. So to offset his costs, of course, he we ask for donations, and even a $20 donation is great. If you can offer more, that's great. If you can't offer any, that's great as well. And there's nothing stopping you. Just come. Money is not the issue, but it does help with Tata Victor's expenses, with everything that he needs to prepare the ceremony. And so it starts at 10 in the morning or 10:30 in the morning, and we're even expecting like some winter weather there, but don't let that deter you, because there's something magical that happens behind that school at that time, and you can see it, like the way the snow hits the trees. Wow, it's just like, it's stunning, really stunning. So don't let the weather stop you from coming. And that's part of the journey too. How much are you willing to sacrifice? What is it you're willing to overcome in order to go to those ceremonies? So you put it into your mind, and then oh my goodness, the storm's coming, and oh, I'm not going to go. Well, that's just a test, and you have to overcome those tests by saying, no matter what. Boy, could I tell you stories about tests and traveling, but we haven't got the time for that. But yeah, so please, everyone, yeah, we have lots of things happening, like at lots of times of the year, and so everyone is welcome. It doesn't matter anything about your age, sex, um, religion, background, anything. Everyone is welcome to join. So with that,
Gail,
yes.
can I just interrupt you for a sec? I plan on attending that, so I was thinking, since I'm closer to the property, I could
Mhm.
open up my healing center, like if someone had to go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, can
Yeah,
do that as well. Yeah.
yeah, and I also wanted to go back and visit like the workshop that we're having, and making a calling for vendors. Like we were talking about Reiki healers, energy workers, body workers, maybe massage, vendors who sell crystals or gems, oracle tarot cards, stuff like that. Those are the only vendors, I guess, that we're calling to be at the workshop at this time, because it relates to the dream workshop that we're having at this time. And if anybody would like to be a vendor, I can put in the chat here how you can get a hold of me, or I'll put my phone number or my email. I don't know, was we going to cap it?
Yeah, we're capping it, and we only have like maybe space for 6 people, maybe a couple more, only because of the space that we have. Like we have 2 spaces, 2 boardrooms that we're able to use for our healers or our vendors. But again, it's sometimes it's also a time when you're hearing something, and you just know that it's time to release, and so you have those options there to help you with um, a lifting you up, and B, to helping you to let go as well. So yeah, I believe we have room for 6.
Right, I do have 2 confirmed and paid. They're readers, T readers, and a reader from
Beautiful.
6 Nations.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, okay, because we also have some confirmed through the center as well. So we'll talk about that after. Perfect. Well, yay! So come and join us, everyone, for our events that are coming, and we wish you blessings on this beautiful solstice evening. And we'll let Grandma close us up, and we just hope that you join us for everything that we do.
Thank you, Gail. Just a reminder, what day is it? Is it on Saturday, Christmas Day?
Yeah, it's Christmas Day is Sunday. Because it's a school, and school was still open till Friday,
Yeah.
we had to wait till Saturday in order to do it. So it's the 24th, December 24th,
Yeah.
at 10:30.
Yeah. I just wanted to remind the people what day it was.
Yes. And because it's winter, it's not like it's ours. And just the thing that I want to mention is usually when you have ceremony, it's not time to stand around afterwards. It's time to do ceremony, and then it's time to to travel as soon as ceremony is done. That's just respecting the ancestors, and yeah. So I just thought I'd also bring that to your attention as well.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure everyone knew the date. And what is I just when you were talking about make sure they go to bathroom, I remember all our sacred charities. There was no outhouses wherever we went. We had to just be rural.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And many
that's the
people
best kind
do.
of experience.
Yeah, many people do. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. When you go on those sacred journeys, there's no washrooms nearby. You just got to be with nature.
Yeah.
So, so we want to say thank you for all that have gathered here tonight, and most of all, just remember we're here to break that mold of fear and doubt and what they call colonization. That it's evil. That it's bad, and this is a way people celebrate life of doing things in a good way and honoring life. And so um, know that solstice is another time of really your journey of birthing the new you. Yes, you're going to have those struggles, but this is why we're here tonight, to help you to be the butterfly that you are to be. And so, yes, each one of us had struggles. And one of the things that just kind of, as they say, remove a lot of that what do you call headphones. And the ancestors are always trying to reach us, always trying to tell us what's ahead. But if we have those or in those technology, it's going to really you're going to wonder, why aren't they talking to me? It's because you've been busy. And so with that, I just want to say miigwech nyawa mama pi to all. And we are looking forward to sharing a lot of other activities and events. So next Wednesday, we'll be on air again. It's called Tea with Duda. It will be with my good friend Neil Maneg. We're going to create, eventually, I was just told we might be creating a grandma's show. So, Duda show. So, that will be a regular to support the people that are whatever they're going through, is just to hear um, you see, we need to hear the stories that, if somebody is needing a story to, I can, if they can get through it, I can get through it. And that's why we're here today, is to share that. And we're giving you resources to support your journey. And so to everyone, I thank you for being with us. And so at this time, when you leave, go out to this outside, and the moon is still shining, but she's behind. She's You can speak to her anytime. It's just like sometimes she wears a veil, but just even speak to her. If you, whatever you have in your heart, whatever you're feeling, is just to express what's, speak to her. Just like Lisa said, speak to your grandma, because she's always listening. And you know what? She'll send somebody to help you and support you. So here we are, celebrating this time. What our ancestors did was acknowledging that change within us, our birthing. This is your birthday. Tomorrow you'll be a new person, and that is so beautiful. So good night, everyone, and we'll see you soon. So at this time, when you leave,